Mauxican has a new president, Adrian Bosworth. This change brings a new aggressive policy to the administration of Mauxican. The armies are to move together, locate, and destroy the Gluppian loyalists. In addition, a peace agreement is signed with the banditti of the Drylands. The Mauxican forces are to withdraw and allow the locals to govern themselves. The Gluppians are making changes as well. Maurice de Bracy has been severely wounded in battle, and is expected to take a long time to recover. He is sent home on permanent leave, and a new general is appointed to command the armies in the field, Jensen Marcos. Marcos, a prominent business mouse and arms dealer, had been a member of the Free Mauxican Congress and former presidential candidate, but has changed sides. Slipping out of Asadero, he has made his way to New Zuran and offers his services to Generalissimo Glup. Marcos takes the Loyalist army and marches back to New Zuran region, regaining strength and supplies, before stopping to build some impressive works at Carmenberg, guarding the river crossing. The Free Mauxican armies advance in pursuit. 1st Brigade moves to the north to liberate several towns, before moving to Confluence and on to Allway. 5th Brigade takes the direct route, liberating the capital and building a supply depot at Allway to further operations into New Zuran. And 4th Brigade, that has made the long and arduous journey from Glorth, is on the edge of New Zuran region, but halts to build works at Mauxican and wait for the rest of the army. Marcos sees an opportunity and launches a rapid attack on 4th Brigade, who, massively outnumbered, immediately flee south into the swamp, abandoning their fort. They will take some days to return to the road in communication with the rest of the nation. Zapporta, commanding 5th Brigade, decides it is time to find 4th Brigade, and marches to Chedfield. 1st Brigade arrives at Allway 3 days later, to find the Gluppian loyalists only 10 miles from the town. Marcos has brought the army out of its fortifications and away from New Zuran region to keep his troops away from the news. Generalissimo Glup is dead. Assassinated in his headquarters by agents of the Free Mauxican Covert Department, the Shadow Brigade. Ramon Soro de Ruzca, the Minister for Dirty Tricks, has led a detachment deep into enemy territory, infiltrated the tyrant's home, and driven an ice pickle into his skull. There are reports that the intention was to kidnap Glup, but it was deemed easier to terminate than extract. The news of the death of Glup strikes the Congress with a dull thud. There is limited reaction, almost disbelief. But Marcos takes the news very seriously. His army is running out of reasons to fight, and Marcos has just committed treason by changing sides. He needs a victory, and he needs to establish the loyalty of his troops. He marches out of New Zuran before the news can spread amongst his soldiers, and decides to attack 1st Brigade at Allway. Hector the Wild Mouse Lavar commands 1st Brigade, which has recently been reinforced by many new recruits. Very raw recruits. Most do not know basic Mauxican drill, let alone have combat experience. The brigade is large, consisting of 5 regiments of infantry, 2 batteries of artillery, and a freshly raised cavalry force. It is too much for one mouse to command in battle, and is unwieldy on the march. Marcos marches to Allway and attacks heavily on his right. The Loyalist army has 2 brigades, and one of them strikes the Free Mauxican militia in a field on the outskirts of the town. The troops are pushed forwards, taking desultory artillery fire from inexperienced crews before charging. The Glorth bayonets fire high, and then quickly break and run. The gun crews put up a stiffer resistance, but are cut down. The cavalry force, Raoul's Rat Riders, observe their fellows retreating in disorder, panic, and ride away from the battle. And in the centre, the South Edamer revolutionaries fall into disorder after taking some long-range artillery fire. Lavar's left wing is in chaos. He rides over to restore order, sending the 1st and 2nd Corps to advance on the enemy, but it is already too late. The Loyalists keep pushing forwards into the revolutionaries, breaking them after a few volleys. The militia and cavalry do not listen to Lavar's threats and entreaties and continue to retreat. 3rd Corps tries to stand, but is shortly overwhelmed by the Loyalist musket fire. 1st and 2nd Corps now find themselves severely outnumbered if they continue to advance, and form a refused line and hold position. Lavar returns from the panicked wing and leads his more veteran units in a more orderly retreat. Marcos has defeated the Free Mauxicans at Allway. Lavar's brigade is broken and in full retreat. Zapporta and Andrew's brigades are somewhere in Acornsfield, and advancing on New Zealand. The Free Mauxicans have lost another opportunity to destroy the Loyalist army in the field, and they are running out of time. News has reached Asadero some weeks earlier that a force of enemy have landed in Babylon and are advancing through the eastern provinces. 3rd Brigade, commanded by Adam Schwarzenberg, has reported they are a massive force that outnumber his own by at least 3 to 1. On the very day that Glup's assassination was reported to the Congress, news arrived from South Edamer. The invaders are wearing red uniforms and carrying the flag of Robsonia. The Republic has